Just ask those questions.
Right.
Just ask those questions.
And ask the right ones, too.
Because it goes back to, like you said, the loudest person
Yep.
might not be the smartest person, might not be the strongest person,
Nope.
might not be the right person.
That's it.
Because sometimes it's the less flashy, the quietest person who is the person that can get the job done.
That's it. And that's what it's all about. Can you do the job and can you get it done?
Yeah. And if you take it back to the relationship side of it,
Uh-huh.
if you telling me that the person in the passenger seat looks like trash,
Right.
then why is the driver hanging out with trash? If you're telling me the person in the passenger seat looks like a deadbeat ASS,
Right.
then the driver's hanging out with a deadbeat.
That's right.
You know, birds of a feather flock together.
You are who you hang around.
Laced up my sneakers, hit the road at dawn, chasing better versions of the man I'm becoming on. Every mile I'm driving, every choice I make teaches me the kind of leader I'm trying to shape. Got my people riding with me through the highs and lows, friends and mentors in the seat when the journey slows. Lessons from the ones who paved the way before. I keep them in my glove box like fuel for the road. Sneakers, cars, and leadership, yeah, that's the lane I'm in. Learning how to lead myself before I lead again. From the kicks on my feet to the wheel in my hand, I'm driving with intention through the life I command. Road gets rough, but I stay aligned. Purpose in my chest.
Welcome back to Sneakers, Cars, and Leadership. I'm your host, Drae Hubb, and we're starting something special today, and I'm very excited. It's called Cultural Case Studies. It's a different way of looking at leadership. It's using the lens of movies, music, TV shows, just different parts of things that we grew up on. I'm an 80s baby, and I love those type of songs, the movies, the TV shows that we grew up during that time.
Yes, sir.
I got my good friend here with me, Coach Mike. We talk about these things all the time. And the idea really came around, you know, there's movies and there's songs where there's theories and there's lyrics and there's themes in there that has some leadership undertones to it. Let's dissect it. Let's talk about it.
Let's get
And so we came up with this this series to tie into this and really say, hey, let's talk about it on the podcast. So this is our first episode, and I'm really excited to jump into it today. And the first song we're going to do is No Scrubs by TLC.
classic.
It is interesting when you think about that song. It came out and it talked about just that person sitting in the passenger side. But we want to dive into it, not the person that's sitting in the passenger side, but the lens of the person who looked at that person in the passenger side. And just talk about it from that point of view.
Right.
But before we jump in, we got to talk about the two signature things, the shoes and the rides. Shoes today is LeBron 15. They were black, had a sock-like feel to it, air bubble from the heel to the toe. Really good shoe to play basketball in. You felt protected, ankles. You can do anything that you want in that shoe. Really love that shoe. Had the black one with the gold check. The ride I'm going to talk about is a 2004 Dodge Intrepid. It was green. I had a nice system in it, some 12s, amps, but that bad boy got stolen.
Dang.
In downtown Atlanta while I was working.
Ouch.
And if we talk about being a scrub and talking about being the passenger side, I was in the passenger side of my best friend ride for a while, but I was not a scrub. I had a job. I just had to save up for a new car.
Life happens.
I know. Life happens, man. You know, so what about you? What's your car? What's your shoe?
So the shoe I'm going to go with is the Jordan 10, the Barons, the black, gray, and white. I wore those at my wedding. Me and my wife, shout out to her. We wore those at our wedding reception, tore the dance floor up. And those are the first pair of Jordans that I bought. And man, I still have them to this day. And they only come out on special occasions, like most Jordans do. The car I want to talk about is kind of old school, 1979 Chevrolet Monte Carlo. My dad had one. It was blue. It was like a pale blue, but it had black leather interior. and it just floated down the road.
Mm.
And, I just remember the engine was so quiet, and my dad, he would just kind of, he's old school. He just one hand on the steering wheel here, just chilling. I'm in the back seat in my car seat, just just bobbing my head, whatever music was playing. So I actually wanted one. Growing up, when I was around about 17, 18, my parents asked me what I wanted. I said, yeah, I want a black Monte Carlo Chevrolet, 1979. They were like, yeah, no, you're not getting that. This is 2004. Like, you're not, no, you're not getting that. That car didn't even have a CD player. so you're like, nah, you're not getting that. But yeah, that's my car.
Okay. And I remember the wedding. I remember y'all tearing up the dance floor.
Appreciate it.
I remember sitting in the corner. I was your ESPN because that was the day the dogs were playing.
They sure would.
I was giving you the score every time y'all tore up the dance floor. You ran up.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, "Hey, Drae, what's the score?"
Oh yeah.
So I remember that was a great wedding. That was a great reception. So
Appreciate it, man.
love that day.
Oh yeah.
So let's dive into it. So we're gonna dive into this one line here.
All right.
Hanging out the passenger side. That line became a label. It was a label to this day.
Yes, it is.
What's your thoughts?
So, just because I'm hanging out the passenger side of your car does not mean I don't have a car of my own. Maybe we decided to ride together that way. That day. Maybe my car's in the shop, and I'm like, "Hey, man, we run to get some wings. You want to get some wings? Okay, cool. My car's in the shop, but Drae, let me hop in the car with you. Okay, cool, fine. But you can't judge me just because I'm trying to holler at you from my friend's passenger side. We just may be in the same car that day. Safety in numbers. I mean, especially if you're driving downtown, save on parking. So it's very judgmental. It's a very judgmental outlook, and I didn't agree with that line, even though the song came out in '99 and I wasn't driving at all. But I was like, that's kind of jacked up. Like, now what if, what if my car got stolen? Or what if I'm saving up to buy a car? Or again, we're just riding together. So why are you gonna prejudge me before you even give me a chance?
Yeah. And you think about in leadership, a lot of leaders see position
Uh-huh.
and they assume capability.
Right.
So in that, the song, they saw position
Right.
because they see the person, the guy in the passenger seat, and just assume
Right.
lack of capability.
That's right. I take it a step further. So I work at a high school. Just because the custodian is the custodian, that doesn't mean that he doesn't have an insight on how to run a school.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a paraprofessional, that doesn't mean I'm not capable. I don't have the capability to run a classroom or teach a subject. You can't judge a book by its cover. You can't just look at somebody's position or look at the way they look and say, yeah, no, I already know what they're about. No, you have to definitely, as a leader, you have to definitely ask those questions and ask the right questions. And then just observe people. Sometimes you just observe people and then you just listen. So, for example, bringing it back to No Scrubs, there's also a line where, that he says, that they talk about, you trying to holler at me and you don't really look that well. I pull the lyrics up, but I may be nervous to talk to you, but just because I'm nervous to talk to you does not equate to me not being able to be the right man for you, or when it comes to talking about leadership, be the right person for that job, because I just may be nervous. Drae's the big boss. There's a position opening up, somewhere on the same floor as him. I got to go through you to get that position. We're at the company picnic, or we're at the company Christmas gala. But okay, I gotta talk to Drae. Drae's the guy. That's the big boss. I gotta get to him. How do I get to Mr. Hubbard? How do I, do I walk up to him? Do I say, hey, so, and you're already going through your head of many different kind of scenarios as to, okay, well, if I approach him this way, how's he gonna react? So as a leader, from a leadership perspective, you know what the company needs.
Mhm.
You know who your personnel is, or at least you should. And you're like, okay, you know what? It looks like, what? I think Mike might be a good fit for the head of marketing or whatever. Let me go talk to him. Let me get to know him. So you come up to me and you say, hey Mike, how you doing? Shake my hand. Now all of a sudden, my wall is down.
Mm.
Now all of a sudden it's okay, all right. So the introduction part is over. Now all I got to do is sell myself while we're talking. We're having casual conversation. So you're getting to know a little bit more about me. I'm getting to know a lot more about you. So now you're like, okay, wait a minute. Now he was just in the mailroom, but he seems to have a lot of knowledge about, our company, and his knowledge fits the vision that I'm looking for.
Mhm.
So boom, next thing you know, you tell me, hey, stop by the office next Monday and let's talk about some things. So as a leader, you have to humble yourself in a way that to where you're not judging people before you even give them a chance.
Yeah. You know, fast judgment feels like leadership, you know, but
Hmm.
often it's just bias moving very quickly.
I agree.
Um, and if we dive into lyrics
All right.
in that song, we got a scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me, hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. I don't want no scrub. The scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me, hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. And I even look at just this as a mentor mentee standpoint,
Right.
because that person can be a mentee
Hmm.
trying to learn, trying to develop.
Right.
And the driver is their mentor who has given them access, who has driven them there
Right.
in that space.
Right. And that's a good way to look at it, because a mentor is there to help in whatever aspect. And before you can be a head coach, you got to be an assistant.
Mhm.
Before you can be the president, you had to at least been a president of something. I'm not talking about of the United States, but you definitely you got to crawl before you walk, and not everybody is going to be an expert at that particular time. So yeah, I'm hanging out my best friend's ride. Maybe I'm still learning.
Mm.
Again, asking the right questions. Like, oh, okay, he doesn't have it all the way together, or she doesn't have it all the way together,
Mhm.
but they're headed in the right direction. So do you want to be along for the ride, or you just gonna say, yeah, no, I need your ride to get closer to me. You're a little further away. But that's another piece with leadership. Patience.
Mm.
Patience. Are you gonna it's in my field, are you just gonna say, well, she running 100, she's a freshman, she running 100 in 13.5 right now. I'ma just push her to the side and wait till I get me one of these girls who running in the low 12s and go with them. No. Are you gonna take the time and develop and walk with them? Or are you just gonna push them to the side? The best thing to do is give them time to develop. After a while, you'll see who you have. You'll know who they are as a person. You'll see the leadership skills. You'll see who they are. They will in time will reveal all things. I'll say that. I'll say it like that.
Do you have a time where you misjudge someone too early?
Oh yeah, a lot of times. You look at a kid and you're like, she ain't gonna be able to do anything for me. All right, let me just put her in the long jump, see what she does, you know. And that may be true for 2 weeks. Excuse me. But that next meet, I may put her, let me see what she does in this 200. All of a sudden, she's running faster in the 200.
Mm.
So I misjudged her. I thought she was a 100-meter runner, but no, she has her foot speed isn't as fast, but she's got a lot more endurance, and Her speed takes a little more time, so she's probably a 200, maybe 400 meter runner. So now I have to go to that young lady and say, hey, you know what? My fault. Now that I know what you can do, I've seen what you can do, I put you in the wrong category.
Mm.
Now I need to put you over here. Now once you do that, they number one, that person or that kid has said, okay, coach sees something in me. So now I'm going to work a little harder. Now I'm in my, not necessarily comfort zone, but I would say I'm in a place where I know I can thrive more. Now I'm going to work even harder. So next thing you know, they've developed and blossomed into something that you didn't even see coming. So in my cases, as a freshman, she wasn't that good. But by senior year, now she's a state champion.
Mm.
All because I believed and I took the time to say, hey, let me reevaluate her, because maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong. And in most cases, that's usually the case. You were wrong. Okay. So now that I know you can do more, I'm going to give you more, and now you can show me what you can do.
What about the reverse?
Okay.
Like judging someone. So let's think about this song where they're judging the passenger
Mm-hmm.
because they're assuming that the driver is the one that has it all together. That's the one you're trying to.
Oh yeah. So
The
yeah.
driver gets all the attention.
Right.
You realize that, wait, the driver is the one.
Fool's gold.
He's the fool's gold.
Fool's gold.
And
Yeah.
so you winning. It's like I put all my effort and I hire this person, put
Mm-hmm.
my time, and this person drops the ball. They're not worth their weight.
Right. To quote Denzel Washington from American Gangster, Frank Lucas, the loudest person in the room is
Mhm.
usually the weakest person in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Confidence doesn't have to be loud.
Mm-hmm.
Confidence doesn't have to be boisterous. Confidence is sometimes quiet. And a lot of times people will be talking loud and won't be saying anything. And that happens. It's happened to me. Okay, yes. All right. She pretty good. Okay, she talking all this noise. Get out there on the track. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. So I'm like, okay. So from a leadership perspective, I'm like, okay, she did all this talking. The proof is in the pudding here in the times and stuff. So that doesn't mean I'm going to kick her to the curb. No, we're just going to say, hey, let's kind of quiet down a little bit and let our actions do the talking. So we're going to, develop and work. And the same thing, if it's in the corporate world, okay, you told me that you can, you're real quick with deadlines and you're a fast typer, but you haven't gotten those requisitions on my desk that I needed. I needed them yesterday, and here's 2-3 days later. So, but the person who works next to that person comes to you and says, well, Mr. Hubbard, here's the information you needed. And you're like, wait a minute. So the person next to the loud person was the one who I really need to be looking at. So then as you say, okay, you know what? I'm going to take these privileges away from you. Now I'm going to hand them to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about awareness. It's all about awareness. The more aware you are, the better. And as a leader, you're not going to always get it right.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the quick decisions come in. Okay, I'm the leader. I got to go boom, 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 boom. And all decisions aren't made quick, fast, and in a hurry. Some decisions are going to take a day or two, maybe even a week. For me, figuring out which relay team works the best. Figuring out, okay, she's the fastest in this at this leg, but she's the better relay runner. So what do I do? Okay, let's just have a runoff. And that's the same way in any other space. You give people enough time to show you who they are, and then you go ahead and you evaluate.
Well, let's jump down to this part of the song. Well, a scrub checking me, but his game is kind of weak.
Mm.
And I know that he cannot approach me because I'm looking like class
Mm-hmm.
and he's looking like trash.
Mm.
Can't get with a deadbeat ASS.
Mm. So cannot approach me. That's the confidence piece there. You may have all the confidence in the world when you're talking to the mirror
Mm-hmm.
and you've practiced your rap and, your approach to how you're going to talk to the boss at the job. But then, you step out there and you get cold feet. You know what I mean? You get up there and the words, your mouth is moving, but the words not coming out.
Yeah.
So it's a confidence thing that person has to overcome. However, again, from a leadership perspective, not judging somebody by how they look. Okay, so they don't have the biggest designer wear on, but I mean they look presentable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they look approachable. What I don't understand what the problem would be. Again, leaders we can't be so high and mighty that we can't say, you know what, let me come to them. It can't always be, well, I'm the principal or I'm the AD or I'm the um president of the company. People got to come see me. No. Why don't you go down? Why don't you go to the people you're serving? Go down to the custodians, go down to the lower level people and just talk to them and just say, hey, how you doing?
Mm.
Get to know them because they may be afraid to approach you about anything. They may have 1,000 ideas to improve the company, but don't know how to approach you. So what you do to dispel that, you say, hey, how you doing? What's your name? What do you do? Oh, I don't know. Really? Okay. And you do that over time. You don't just do it one time, you do it over time. And that way you'll learn where the strengths and weaknesses are in your program, company, and what have you. And then you say, you know what? You may be at a meeting and you say, you know what? We need somebody who barbecues.
Mm.
Wait a minute. That guy, Andreas Hubbard, doesn't he? Wait a minute. Yeah, the guy Andreas Hubbard, he works the front desk down there. Doesn't he have his own barbecue business on the side? Let's let him cook for the company picnic, and then maybe we can let him set up a food truck outside. And it's just and
Mhm.
you know that because you had that one conversation with him, and you remembered. You know what? He's good at X, Y, and Z. So let's not exploit his talents, but let's put his talents to good use to help the company, and that helps. That not only does that help you out, but it helps the company out as well. And that looks good from a leadership perspective because it's like, okay, this leader actually and genuinely. That's the one thing about it. You got to be genuine too.
Mhm.
This leader genuinely knows and cares about the people who works with him.
Yeah. And another piece when I think about these lines as well is the judgment piece around just people's appearance, like you said. Just ask those questions.
Right.
Just ask those
And
questions.
ask the right ones too.
Because it goes back to, like you said, the loudest person
Yep.
might not be the smartest person, might not be the strongest person,
Nope.
might not be the right person.
That's it.
Because sometimes it's the less flashy, the quietest person who is the person that can get the job done.
That's it. And that's what it's all about. Can you do the job and can you get it done?
Yeah. And if you take it back to the relationship side of it,
Uh-huh.
if you telling me that the person in the passenger seat looks like trash,
Right.
then why is the driver hanging out with trash?
Mm.
If you're telling me the person in the passenger seat looks like a deadbeat ASS,
Right.
then the driver's hanging out with a deadbeat.
That's right.
Birds of a feather flock
Lock
together.
together. You are who you hang around.
Now, the rest of the song is just, the same old stanza over and over and over.
It's repetitive. Yeah.
But all in all, when we think about just this song, and like you said, Candy, they did a great job. They wrote a great song.
They did.
It was a hit.
It was.
It was sung and it was performed very well.
Yes, it was.
To TLC.
All right.
Shout out to LaFace.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to just some great entertainers. But I will say during this time, this song did not do very well for people.
No, it didn't.
From a judgment standpoint, that if you would not drive in the car or if you didn't have a certain status, then you automatically labeled
Yep.
as a scrub.
Yep. I was in middle school when this came out, getting called a scrub. I'm like,
It's like,
half of us ain't even hit puberty yet. Y'all talking about
I have a learner's permit. How am I a scrub?
exactly.
Of course I'm in the passenger seat. I can't drive.
I used to just take it and ride and roll with it. I said, "Yep, you right." I said, "No, I'm not in the passenger side. I'm in the back seat of my parents' car because they have to drive me. Take it or leave it."
Like, can you imagine being called a scrub on the bus with the girl that you're on the bus with?
Oh my God!
Like, we both on the bus.
Like what are we talking about here? You just got picked up, and you live closer to the school than I do. What are we talking about?
Oh man. Anything else you want to leave the people with this week, Mike?
I would just say to sum it all up, man. You never know what you can do for somebody if you just ask the right questions. You never know the kind of talents that somebody may have by just having a simple conversation, and you never know how it can not just how you can help somebody else, but how it can also benefit you in the long run if you really just put people in a position to win.
Mm-hmm.
You put people in the right position to be a better them, then sky's the limit.
Yeah.
That's the best thing I could say.
Appreciate it. I'm your host, Drae Hubb. I got Coach Mike with me, and it was good to just dive into this song to pull out some different nuggets to share. Hopefully that will just help people as you go throughout this week. I will ask you to just, think about someone that you might have misjudged and had a bias about them. Did you take the time to really evaluate them and ask questions? If you didn't, then do that. And then come back. And if you were wrong, apologize. And do that. Because sometimes we can miss out on things because we act too quickly.
Yeah.
And having a quick judgment, that is a good asset to have quick judgment, but not all the time. Sometimes we do need to slow down and really think and take our time. So this is Drae Hubb, Sneakers, Cars, and Leadership, and thank you for joining us today, and have a good week. Peace.
Peace.